Susan Gardner here for Municipal World. We're at the 2019 annual conference for the Federation of Canadian Municipalities in beautiful Quebec City. Joining me in the Municipal World Media Center is Mayor Craig Scott from Torbay. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So for folks who don't know, tell us a little bit about Torbay.
Well, I guess Torbay is a mid-size municipality for Newfoundland and Labrador, around 8,000 people, and we're kind of a mix of rural, urban, and we're right on the doorstep of the city of St. John, so we're right next door, and I would imagine most of our people work within the city.
Okay. So what are some of the things that are happening, the exciting things happening in Torbay these days?
Well, it's a pretty exciting time, actually, because we got our new community center that's going to be opening by the end of the summer, hopefully. And the construction is almost finished on it. And it has a full-size gymnasium, some multi-purpose rooms, skate park, splash pad, accessible playground, all the things that you would need in a community our size. We have our population in our community, I guess the demographics is young families. We're trying to kind of kicking the trend.
I was going to say that's an enviable position.
Right? Yeah. Because in Newfoundland Labrador, a lot of the issues that are facing many municipalities is declining population, aging population. So we're actually benefiting, I think, from some people that are moving from some of the outpoor communities coming into the Avalon Peninsula where the economy is still strong, and they're choosing to come live in our town, which is good. So we need to have the services available for that people are going to want to use.
That's fantastic. So what are some of the challenges? I'm sure like all communities, Torbay's got some challenges too.
I think that one of the biggest challenges that we had was in the early 2000s, our town grew so fast. The population was booming. We were having 150 new housing starts a year, I think was at a peak. And for every year you're adding that many houses and that many families, we simply outgrew the infrastructure that we had, in particular recreation infrastructure. So that was one of the issues that we were faced with, I guess, 6 years ago when I first got elected to council. One of the big projects we had to do was build a new municipal depot. And so we did that. Our town hall is currently under renovation. It was really in bad need of being renovated. It was antiquated and there wasn't a good working space for staff. And you got to have a good place for your staff to work. And then our community center was small. We didn't have a place in the town where you could have more than 100 people at a time. So our new center is really going to address that and be a place for families to go and gather and sports teams. People want to play sports. Our seniors are going to have space there to do things, for exercising and rooms to have their 50 plus clubs and that type of thing. So that's a really positive thing. And I think that over the last, like I said, 6 years that we've come a long way. We've built some new recreation infrastructure as well. Trails. We put a trail around one of our ponds. We built a new monument down at our beach. We actually moved it from where our Memorial Day monument is.
Yes.
And put it down on the beach because I think it's 1786 or something like that. Captain William Amherst actually landed in Torbay and marched to St. John's to take back the city from the French. So this was it's a
historic site.
Yeah, it's a historic site. It's significant for us, and we took the monument from our memorial site and we moved it down to the beach, and it's beautiful. That project is just about finished, and it's right along the East Coast Trail. So when people come into our town and they go down the East Coast Trail, they're going to pass by this thing, and it's beautiful. And right now we're full of icebergs. We got icebergs coming from everywhere, so that's really that's a nice added addition to have when people are coming. I actually met a mayor from Red River, Alberta, yesterday, and him and his wife are going to be going to St. John's next week. And I told him this is where you go to see the iceberg stuff because they've never seen icebergs before.
So some great tourism type attractions there.
Right, and that's one of the spin-offs to come into these conferences. You get to meet people from all across the country that are trying to do the same thing that you are.
Yes.
Working to make your community better.
Yes.
And you have these opportunities to market your town to other people that may not have ever thought of going there. And now, potentially next week, he's going to show up in our town. He's going to go in. He'll probably visit our local business, go to a local restaurant. You know, it's all about economic development and tourism and just people now are coming to Newfoundland as a result of this Come From Away Broadway musical.
Yes.
And they're looking for the Come From Away experience. But they really don't know what that is.
Can they find it in Torbay?
They can find it anywhere because really what that is you come to my town or any town and you stop and you talk to local people and they're going to be interested in where you're from and they're going to talk to you. They'll probably bring you for a coffee. They might take you to their house and cook you dinner. You know, it's a unique aspect to Newfoundland Labrador that doesn't happen in many other places just because of people's apprehension. And, you know, I lived in Ottawa for 10 years and I couldn't imagine just someone coming up to me on the street, offering me a ride and jumping in the car and going somewhere. You know, I'd be kind of wary about that, but that's commonplace. That's commonplace in Newfoundland Labrador.
Why would I want to come and live in Torbay or start a business there?
Well, every opportunity I get, we did a promotional video for our town a few years ago, and if anybody wants to Google it, they can Google it. It's Torbay Attraction Video. It's on our Vimeo. It's on our YouTube.
Torbay Attractions.
Yeah. And it was shot over a year, so it shows summertime, spring, winter, fall, different activities, and it's not about so much sights in Torbay. It does include that because it just happens that it's about the people that are there, what they're doing, and how you can live your life. You can go out in a boat, you can go in your skidoo, you can go in the woods, you can walk on a trail, you can do all these things, you go swimming in a pond, you know, and that is the reason why people want to come live in our community because it's close enough to St. John's, the city, that has all the major amenities that you would want, shopping, you know, the government buildings and all this, but just 5-minute drive away, literally 5 minutes, and you're in our town and you can build a house on a 1 acre lot. You can have a 40 by 50 garage is what people got to keep their skidoo and their bike and their four-wheeler and all these things that they want to be able to live in a rural atmosphere where you have a nice big lot, your neighbor's not on top of you, and you can do the things that you want to do. You can take 5 minutes and walk down through the woods and go cut a hole in the ice in the winter time, go ice fishing. You know, you can jump in the pond and go swimming if you want. So it's a I think a kind of a unique lifestyle on the cusp of a major city in our province. It's right there, and we have great relationship with the city of St. John's. And my opinion is what's good for St. John's is good for my town because we got people that are going to be coming to work in that city, and you know, if 1 out of every 10 of them families come and live in my town, that's good for me.
That's awesome.
For us,
Small town living with proximity to a big urban center, which is a really nice thing to have. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing Torbay's story.
Thank you. Listen, there's nothing I like better than promoting my town and trying to get people to come to it and understand that, and especially I guess our residents, is that our council, this is what we work for, this is what we do. You know, we want to do what we can to improve our community, to move us forward, and to just make it the best place to live in the world, and that's, I think it is, and you know, I'm going to keep working at it to make sure it does stay that way.
And I'm going to try and come visit soon.
Excellent. All right.
I'm Susan Gardner from Municipal World, here with Mayor Craig Scott from Torbay. We share your stories.